Moving back, before we are where we are today, you're actually filed candidates for office. What motivated you, and again, we'll start alphabetically with candidate Mungo. What motivated, we're very fair in the Stark County Political Report.
I always go first. Okay.
Because you're M and he's S.
That's quite all right. No big deal.
And so what motivated you to make that decision to want to run for Stark County Commissioner?
Well, that's a very valid question, because at the surface you would look at what I'm doing and you'd say, well, that's pretty stupid, because I'm a very successful and been very fortunate and blessed in my career. I do very well as an orthopedic surgeon, and this would be a significant pay cut.
So you plan to not be a practicing doctor anymore, the full-time commissioner, is that what we're talking about?
I plan on being a full-time commissioner and a part-time doctor.
Okay.
We have another commissioner that still has a job outside of his commissionership. I don't think anybody's going to have to be able to sell his markets or anything else. He'll still be running his businesses also. And
is that true, Bill?
The children are, yeah. And you always have a hand in it, as long as it's in the family. You always have,
Okay.
they call, ask advice, and you always have a hand in it.
Sorry for the interruption, candidate Mungo.
No, very
Anything
valid.
additional?
No, very valid.
Okay.
So it was about 4 or 5 years ago, I felt like I was called to public service. I felt that with my combination of my interest in history and government and my passion for those things, and I've had people through the years say, hey, you ought to run for office, and at some point it started to kick in, and I felt like God was asking me to do more. To whom more is given, more is expected, and so I feel like this is truly a calling that I need to go and do. So I can either sit back and ignore that, or I can try and answer that and do my best to do that. And so I'm throwing myself in, making the sacrifice, and willing to do this.
Candidate Smith, your motivation?
Well, I'd been, discussing it for some time and thinking about it, but, 4 or 5 years ago when asked, I wasn't ready. And I knew I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready personally, I wasn't ready business-wise, and I wasn't ready as a trustee. I hadn't experienced what I thought I should have. And so probably in the last year and a half, really started looking at it. But I looked at the 3 commissioners. I admired them. I thought they were doing a very good job. They've righted the ship from where it was. But I knew Tom Burnaby would have been the first option, that would Tom go on, would he not? And had discussions with Tom, but was waiting. And I thought, if Tom goes again, I'm not going to challenge him. I'm just not one to put my hat in the ring just to put it in. And so, but I felt that with the experience that I had, now it acquired more experience as a township trustee, and some of the things that I've accomplished in my business, to the point where the kids are, and I call them kids, they're 35 and 36. They'll always be kids, my children, but they're taking a very good foothold in that arena, and so I was needed less in that arena. And I thought, I'm still young enough. I enjoy what I do. I really do love what I do in the township, and I felt that I could broaden the borders. So I was taking it on as a commissioner. It would broaden those borders, and I felt I have something to give. And so that's when I decided that to put my hat in the ring when Tom was officially, I guess, through the courts, so that he would be on the ballot. At that point, that I knew that it was go time, and it was time to roll. And he had made a decision, and then that office would be available, possibly. So.